Thank you very much. Dr. Agarwal, speakers, delegates, honored guests. Shagru and ITAG embarked on an adventure about 5 years ago with the start of this conference in Calcutta. And at that time, the idea was to fill another gap that was seen in the global IP area. That is, a conference that could bring together the thinkers, the experts, the academics, the jurists, the attorneys who lead the way in formulating IP policy and develop the standards for IP on a global basis. And I'm pleased to return here for this 5th conference. At the time of the first in Calcutta, we had the opportunity after the conference to go to a tiger preserve and to look for some tigers on a remote island. I don't think there are any such adventures here today, but I do think that there will be certainly plenty of fierce remarks made over the course of the next 8 days in this conference. The conference does indeed fill a gap because it provides over 8 days an opportunity for over 400 sponsors to provide their comments and to share their ideas and to network with regard to the issues involving IP. Now, of course, the success of a program like this is based in large part on the changing IP landscape that we see today. But it's also based in a significant part to the contribution of a very unique individual and his organization, Dr. Agarwal, who I think by sheer force of his personality, his warmth, his smile, and that occasional hug that you get from him, he brings, I think, all of us here in a very comfortable setting so that we can share our ideas. The blogs, newspapers, articles all talk about significant IPR developments, and this conference fills the gap by allowing ideas to be expressed and shared with regard to some of those developments. In the US, as Dr. Agarwal mentioned, the AIA was passed a couple of years ago, 18 months ago, and we will see the last portions of the AIA implemented in March this year. But in addition to that and those major changes that take place in the US, we also see developments in our own court system challenging statutory subject matter and asking whether software is patentable, whether biotechnology inventions are patentable. We see similar developments in Europe. The recent initiatives dealing with the unitary patent and the court system are also very dramatic. Japan similarly is taking aggressive steps to adopt an opposition system. And so we see a confluence of many of these ideas that are being developed in individual countries but then shared among many. Not only on a national basis, but also internationally, we see tremendous developments. The IP5, as many of you know, sharing ideas among the top 5 patent filing nations and regions, where China, Korea, Japan, Europe, the United States, representing 90% of all filings globally, have undertaken 10 foundation projects in an attempt to bring more harmony to the IP scene, but also to make the filing and acquisition of rights much easier, much more economical, much simpler than before. through the IP5. For example, Europe and the United States recently adopted a new classification system that will be used to identify and help with searching of inventions in a more economical way. There also is something called the Global Dossier that has come out of the IP5 discussions. The meetings were held this week, as a matter of fact, in The Hague. And the idea is to have a single portal through which the filing of applications on a global basis can be achieved by a user. Through the Global Dossier, there are also initiatives to allow examiners to be more efficient and to collaborate on a much broader basis than before. So all of these types of initiatives will be the subject of the discussions over the next 8 days, and surely will be the subject of discussions in conferences in years to come. While we see progress on the substantive side, and we see it being made here in India as well, there are some things that still need to be addressed. And one last point, at the present time, I'm the president of a group called the Global Network of National IP Associations, an initiative that was started a few years ago. And to date, there are about 20 countries that are participating. The main IP practitioner associations are participating in this. And significantly, while India has been represented as an observer, I'm really surprised that there is no national IP attorney practitioner association in India, to my knowledge. And so I would invite India and its professional group to try to form such an organization so that they can participate with the rest of the world in that forum, the Global Network of National IP Associations. And perhaps someone like Dr. Agarwal could lead that charge. Thank you very much.